Page 193, number 18. We are to graph the function and describe its end behavior. So you can go ahead and put it in your graphing calculator, which I have done. And you want to make sure you have a window that shows all your maximum and minimums, which I have. And I will show that when I originally put it in that I was okay with my x values, but I changed my y values because I couldn't see my max and my mins. So we are to describe the end behavior. So to do that, what I notice is that looking at the function itself, I have a cubic function because I have x times x times x, so I'm going to have a cubic function. So the end behavior is going to be in the opposite directions. So when I look at the graph, I can see that on the left side that it is coming from a positive value going down to the minimum, turning around, going to a local maximum, and then going back to the negative territory. So to use function or limit notation, I would write that the limit as x approaches negative infinity of f of x is going to equal infinity. And oops, that's supposed to be an infinity, not an 8. And that the limit as x approaches positive infinity of f of x is going to be negative infinity. So if I go ahead and trace this, I'll show you what I mean. So if I trace it, as I approach smaller and smaller y values, as you can see x values, as my x values are getting smaller and smaller, my y values are getting larger and larger. So if I type in like negative 100, I don't know if it'll let me because it's not on the screen. I was afraid of that. But let's just try like negative 4. You can see it's already at 264. So as I get smaller and smaller x values, which is what this part of the limit notation is saying, as x approaches smaller and smaller x values, the value of the function is getting larger and larger. On the other side of the graph, what I see is if I trace the other way, so let me bring it back to 4, I'm right here, and as my x's get larger and larger, my y's are getting smaller and smaller. So that's why I say as x approaches larger values, approaches infinity, the value of the function f is approaching smaller and smaller values, approaching negative infinity.